Hey everybody, what's going on? Okay, so I think I said this on the last episode that I booked a house for my family. I actually just got back. I'm fucking exhausted. If you are an only child, you relate to this, but I loved being an only child growing up. Honestly, I don't even think my personality as an only child would have done well had I had siblings. You know, I just required so much that I fear as though if I had another sibling, things would just be falling through the cracks, you know? And as you guys know, there's no plan B. There's only plan A for me. And when you have a sibling, I feel like there's a lot of plan Bs because, you know, things just are chaotic. But as I get older, it's been a little bit harder to be an only child, which is so strange. I spend the least amount of time with my family. I'm the farthest from my family that I've been. And somehow it's been the hardest to be an only child. And I know only children probably relate to this, but I, grew up in Massachusetts. I left my hometown and I moved to California, not knowing anybody. And then you go through things in your family life. You go through deaths, you go through loss, you go through setbacks. And that absence of not having a sibling feels a lot heavier. And my grandfather, who I was very, very close with, passed in 2019. And unexpectedly, to some degree, that's a whole other story. Again, remember that 20-part series one day I'll give you guys? It's pretty insane. And my grandfather, unbeknownst to him, unbeknownst to all of us until really he passed, held my family together in so many ways because my family is so small. My grandparents were divorced, both technically remarried. And my mom hosted every holiday growing up, and I always wanted my nunno there. And I had such a strong relationship with my grandfather because he wasn't from the States. So there was some of the phrases he would use just like didn't translate perfectly, but like I just understood what he meant. I don't know. And he never treated me like a kid. You know, he was talking to me like I was a grown adult. You can't see my toes if my toes are here, right? He talked to me like an adult, and I really just respected that about him. And when he passed, our family went through a lot of loss. We're still in the midst of loss. And this started in 2019. My childhood home, half of my family, a lot of things happened that have been traumatic for my family. And that emptiness of being an only child weighs more and more on me. And the one positive thing that came out of all of this was my mom and my uncle. They were I don't know. I feel like I don't really come from a family where everybody, like when we would host people over for the holidays, people would come over, we'd like kiki for a little bit, they'd eat, and then everybody would leave. It wasn't one of those families where everybody's up till 2 a.m. playing poker and having shots. That wasn't us. So my mom and uncle were close, but I feel like when my grandfather passed, they became closer. And my parents especially have gone through a lot that subconsciously I have put an insane amount of pressure on myself as I've gotten older, and finding that line that you don't even have to be an only child to relate to this. Really, anybody that doesn't live close to their family, that burden, no, I don't want to say burden, that stress of wanting to live your life, your own life, and create your own traditions and your own memories and pursue your own dreams while simultaneously watching the life you once knew kind of slip away is a very bittersweet thing. And I'm constantly trying to navigate that, where in order to take care of myself and build a safety net, I have to miss things. And I've missed so many things. Even before I was doing content creation, when I was pursuing being an actor, I missed weddings and funerals and, birthdays. I missed so many things because of an audition, maybe a potential job. And as I've gotten older, that's weighed more and more on me. Lately, it's been weighing on me a lot more. and it's been very hard for me because I'm at this incredible point in my career where I'm traveling and things are coming up and I'm just doing things that I never thought that I would be able to do. And a part of the downside is that, again, you miss so much in regards to the life that you once knew and once cherished. So on the 4th of July, when I was here at the house, my aunt sent me a photo, and mind you, you know how many fucking family photos, moms, they love a fucking Facebook post. You know how many Facebook posts I've seen of everybody at our cousin's friend's sister's wedding or a baby shower or what? Like, I've missed all of those. And sometimes, honestly, I'm like, it's kind of nice that I get to miss some of them. Oh, sorry, I live 3,000 miles away. Other ones, of course, I don't want to miss. But a lot of them, I'm like, you know what? I could have done without being there. But I got this one particular photo from my aunt of my dad, my mom's long-term partner, and I'm sorry, my grandmother's long-term, what did I say? My dad, my nana's long-term partner, and my cousins playing football in my uncle's backyard. And Shane and I were on our balcony. I was smoking a cigar. It was 4th of July. I was creating my own little tradition. And I looked to Shane and I said, I need to see my family. I got to see them. And I also just know that summer really is the only time I have any sort of guaranteed flexibility. That's why we forced ourselves to go to Hawaii, because once September 1 hits, it's bye. You know what I mean? Like, I don't know where the fuck I'm going, where I need to be. I'm just going somewhere. So I called my parents and I said, I want to book a trip, but coordinating with my family is a shit show because, like, it's just very difficult. Not everybody is super go with the flow. There's a lot of schedules. My aunt and uncle have 2 kids. One's going to be in college. Like, there's a lot of stuff. They do sports. Both my parents now work more than full time. It's very hard to coordinate. And I called my mom and I said, I'm booking a house. And she immediately kiboshed it. My mom doesn't want me spending any money on anybody. And she said, no, you're not doing that. I said, I am doing this. And actually, my therapist, I talked to my therapist about this, where I was like, there are ways in which I can help my family now when they need that. And, I would love to be able to do that, but my mom doesn't allow me to do that. And it makes me sad because I always said, once I start making money, I want to, like, bring everybody that I love with me, because it's not fun to do these things by yourself. And now I have the means of being able to help the people around me also experience these things with me. That's always been my goal. My mom, she's my mom, right? She doesn't want me to spend any money on her or my family. And also, she's gone through so many unexpected life events that she's a little bit more conservative when it comes to finances and planning and all of that stuff. So anyway, I knew she was going to be a hard sell. So I talked to my therapist before and I was like, how can I communicate to her that I really it would honestly mean the world to me if she would allow me to do this? And she said, your mom isn't in a position to financially give you something right now, right? So the way that she gives to you is by making you save your money. In her mind, okay, that's how I'm giving. I'm making you save money. Girl math, essentially. She said, but if you express to her that, hey, this is how I want to give. I know why you want me to not spend money, and in your mind, that makes you feel like you're giving me something because you're protecting me and my finances. But it would really mean a lot if you would let me give in this way. And I said that, and it actually worked. It took a little bit of convincing, and it helped that I had her on speaker and Shane was there, and I, cornered her essentially, but I convinced her, and I knew once I convinced her, everybody else would be easy. So I sent a group text and I was like, guys, I want to book a house. I'm thinking about Nantucket, Cape, Rhode Island. I don't give a fuck. Just everybody give me your availability. And I am really fucking proud of myself that I carried through this plan, because I get really stressed with planning trips. Something about me, when I travel, I don't really plan anything. I like going with somebody else that loves to plan. And then, I have my strong suits. I will do, I'll do those. I'll take great photos of you. Just tell me where I need to be and what restaurant is not going to make me sick, And Shane usually is that person. So I planned this, we flew to Boston, and then from Boston, we drove right to the Cape. And we had this awesome weekend. I got the sickest house. I mean, truly, it's so crazy. I've done the most incredible things in my career, things that I've never thought that I'd be able to do. And something about being able to do this has honestly been one of the most rewarding milestones in my career. To be in this beautiful, we've never all been under the same roof, ever. I've missed so many things. The one time that we traveled, we went to Mount Washington, actually a few Labor Days ago, and we all stayed in different hotel rooms. And that's kind of lame, because when you travel with people you want to hang out with, it's like, okay, well, what do we do now? I guess everybody just go back to your hotel room. I was like, if we're all under one roof, I can coerce everybody to play games. We can go in a hot tub. Like, we're all still hanging out. So I got this fucking sick house. I mean, a backyard of our dreams. And also, I had 2 high schoolers that were going to be there. It was their last weekend of the summer. They don't want to fucking go hang out with their family. So I was like, I need to get a house that they would love. This house had a pool, a hot tub, basketball court, volleyball court, soccer nets, like a grill, anything that you can imagine, a game room with foosball. Like, we had so much fun. So much fun. Something about my parents, I've learned this about them. I don't know what it is. They get real antsy when they travel. Like, they love going to the store. Okay. They go to the store like 15 times. I'm not even kidding you. When my parents came here, they were only for whenever last time they were here. Was it Christmas? It might've been Christmas. No. Yeah. They were just here in the spring at some time. And they went to the store. I'm not even fucking kidding you. Every day. My mom went to the supermarket every single day. We only made like one home cooked meal. We ate out every day. I was like, what are you buying? They get so antsy that literally one day they'd be like, all right, we're taking your car. Where are you going? Oh, we're going to GNC. I need to buy all my vitamins. I'm like, you didn't pack them? No, I forgot. Okay, well, like, hey, if you don't take a multivitamin for like the 3 more days that you're here, I'm sure you'll be fine. Like, my mother especially has a very hard time with when you travel. In order to maximize the short amount of time you have somewhere, you have to be okay with the fact that you're just not going to have all the things that you normally have in your day-to-day routine. And you kind of just got to go with the flow a little bit. And, you know, if you're going somewhere for 2 months, yeah, sure, get everything that you need to sustain. But if you're coming to visit me and you're only here for a short amount of time, every moment kind of counts. They went to the fucking store every day. GNC. The best was one day my dad went to the store to buy 12 key limes. When my dad left, do you know how many key limes were at my house? 12. There were 12 key limes in my fucking fridge. I said, Dad, what's up with the 12 key limes? Oh, they're really good for you. Okay. You didn't eat fucking one. Shane actually was telling me the funny story. He's like, oh, well, you know, Shane had to go to the store this time. And my dad's always like, yeah, I'll come. Like, he literally spawns out of nowhere when he hears somebody say like, I'm going to go to the store. And he's like, I'll come. I was like, of course. Okay. Dad, go with Shane. Shane needed to get like butter. He needed like one thing. He's like, I just got to like run in. My dad's like, oh no, I'll go. I'm going to get some key limes. Shane's like, all right, key limes it is, man. Shane's like, I literally walked into Whole Foods, grabbed the butter. I was checking out. Your dad was over at that key lime stand, picking up every key lime, holding it. Like, Shane's like, I didn't want to interrupt him because he really seemed like he was in the zone, but man was really diligent about his key lime selections. So I made a rule when we went to this fucking house. All right. I said, listen, Carmela, Chris, I got one rule for you. You got, mind you, I flew in on a Thursday, the Thursday before Labor Day. I was going to land at the airport. They were going to pick me up in a rental. We were going to drive the 2 hours to the Cape. So we had Friday, Saturday, Sunday, and then Monday, Memorial Day, we have to drive to the airport and I leave right from there. I said, I'm making a rule. I'm spending a lot of money on this house. I only get to see you guys for really a solid 72 hours. You get one fucking trip to the store. Because also keep in mind, my aunt and uncle and their 2 kids are driving down. They also did a trip. Everybody already communicated about what everybody needed. I said, Mom, go to the store, get the things you need for breakfast, get the things you need for your coffee, and that's it. We're cooking at the house one day in which my uncle is going to be grilling. He's going to get all the meats. Really, you got nothing to worry about. One day, we're going to be on fucking Nantucket. So that really leaves 24 hours. You get one time at the store. We get there. They go to the store. We come back from the store. I can tell my dad's antsy. He's like jonesing to go to the store again. He goes, I gotta go to the store. I said, you just got back from the store. What do you need? No, I gotta go to CVS. What do you need? I need a... This is just really funny because Shane and I like were pissing our pants recapping all of this. He needed to buy a battery for the car remote that was a rental car. He said, I don't know, this battery seems weird. I'm going to go get another battery. I said, you're going to get a battery for the car remote for the rental car that's not even yours that you're going to have to return? Yeah, it seems weird. I got to go buy another one. Now, mind you, the whole weekend, I kept pushing the DoorDash, Instacart, Postmates propaganda. They think it's blasphemous that I would pay somebody to go buy things so that I don't have to leave so I can enjoy the 10 minutes I have that weekend. I kept saying, Dad, I can DoorDash that. No, it's fine. It's down the street. Dad goes down the street, comes back. Oh, it's the wrong battery. You didn't check? That's fine. I'm going to go back. Hey, Dad, I'll Postmates it. No problem. Blasphemous. Okay. Next morning, this is the funniest. Shane and I were in stitches. Next morning, we wake up. Carmela's making her eggs. I can tell Chris is antsy. He's pacing around the house. I see him start open. Now, also, this is, in their defense, this is their first time in an Airbnb. So when we had this group text about what everybody needed to bring, everyone's like, yeah, I'll bring pots, pans, I'll bring some sheets. I go, hey, you guys, you don't need that. We're staying at a house. It's everything you need. Pots, pans, plates, mugs. Fuck, there'll be salt, pepper, and oil there, honestly. Trash bags. They were like, oh, we got to bring toilet paper. Like, they couldn't comprehend that all of that was going to be at the house, right? So like the next morning, my mom's making breakfast. My dad's like, I got to go buy a knife. I go, Dad, just keep looking. One of those drawers, we'll have a knife. He finds a knife. He gets a little more antsy. I see him start opening cupboards. He goes, I got to go to the store. I look at Shane. I go, what do you need, Dad? I'm going to go... Because it's so ridiculous. He goes, I'm going to go buy a nutribullet. I'm going to go buy a nutribullet. I got to go to the store. I got to buy a nutribullet. Mind you, never seen this man use a nutribullet in my life. My mom goes, you're going to go to the store to buy a $120 machine right now? Yeah, I got to get a nutribullet. Also, keep in mind, there was a nutribullet at the house, but my dad was just like, I got to go buy it. And my mom goes, why are you going to buy a nutribullet? We already have a nutribullet. I know, but I'm in the market for another one anyways. I got to keep one with me when I go to the gym. I look him in the face. I go, Chris, you're not going to go buy a nutribullet right now. Okay? You don't need it. Just do without it. This man was about ready to go in his car to go buy a fucking nutribullet. God, they are fucking characters, man. Shane and I, oh my God, we couldn't stop laughing about that one. So my aunt and uncle show up. Their 2 kids, their dog. We hang out by the pool. We end up going to dinner, had a blast. I didn't realize I had such a... Also, I just would like to say, and I am tooting my own horn, I have a really like hot demographic. Like the girls that follow me are like very attractive. Like I'm like, every time you guys come up to me, I'm like, I got a hot demo. And I apparently have a hot Cape demo because every girl that I met on the Cape and Nantucket were stunning. And I see you guys. So we go to dinner and then Nantucket. So we're doing good. No arguments yet. To the morning of Nantucket. Big blowout between Carmela and I. This is typical blowout. Mom, you don't need to text me after this episode and get mad. Okay. This is all in good fun. Everybody here is having a good time. So we make the mistake of letting my uncle book the ferry tickets, which, you know what? My bad. Shouldn't have done that. John, he's John. He really wasn't the one we should have delegated to buying 8 ferry tickets. Typically, I go to Nantucket all the time. I take Highline cruises, right? It's one of the brands. They got a fast boat. It's great. I get there. Okay. When I've taken my parents, 2 of those times, we've also taken Highline. So we know where we park. We know what it looks like. John sends me the information. We're following each other in the cars. This one says steamboat. I go, I think that's a different one. Unless that's just like the name of a slow boat. All right, that's fine. Whatever, we're going. We pull up, says we're here. We don't recognize it at all. I go, I don't know what this is. Carmela flies off the handle because in her mind, she still thinks that we're supposed to be at Highline. So she doesn't recognize our surroundings. Let me put it in the GPS. Also, love my mom to death. Woman cannot read fucking GPS to save her life. She's good at so many things. Reading a GPS, not one of them. For an example, she'll be directing my dad. It'll say in 0.6, take a right. Take a right. Take a right now. No, mom, 0.6 is a little over half a mile. He doesn't have to take a right yet. Very doesn't understand distance when you need to get ready. Or it'll be like, take a right in 100 feet, and then she'll wait for you to pass it to tell you should have taken a right. And then she'll yell at you because you missed the right, because you were supposed to know somehow. So anytime Carmela, when she starts getting antsy, she'll try to challenge my map by taking out her droid, by the way. She has an Android, okay? She'll pull out her droid and try to map challenge me. She does all the time. And she's like, I'm putting it in my map. Okay, your map is going to probably say exactly what my map says, even though your map has to configure droid technology. So it's probably a little slower, but it's going to be the same thing. I fucking go off. I go, put your fucking map away, all right? Put your map away. I'm not dealing with two people screaming. This whole car just ends up yelling. We just end up absolutely exploding on it. All of us. Shane's just like, what's happening? But also Shane's used to it. And I'm trying to explain to her. She's yelling at me. She said, this is not where we usually park. And I keep saying, Carmela, we're not going to the place that we went to before. I know, but this isn't where we usually go. Okay. You are right now thinking that this is supposed to look like Highline. We're going to Steamboat. We all end up yelling. We pull over. John's in his car. We end up yelling at John. We don't even know if we booked the right ferry. Now it's getting real close to when we need to start boarding. We still have no fucking idea what ferry we take. Finally, Shane goes, I'm going to go ask somebody. Shane gets out of the car. And my mom's like, you leave the California guy to go ask. She's going to yell at me after this episode because she's like, you make me sound like this, ogre. It's all fun and games, Mom. Anyway, and also this is what we do all the time. So finally we find out there's a lot we got to go to. It's a little bit more janky than what we do with Highline, because Highline we just pull right up, pay $30, we're good. This one we got to go to this lot, and then from the lot there's a bus that picks us up, and then the bus is going to take us to the ferry. Mind you, we're cutting it real fucking close. We all park in this dirt lot. Everybody's kind of pissed at each other, so we all are like kind of silenced. Eight of us just like not talking really. And then we're the most anxious group of people, like together. And like, it's been a while since all 8 of us have been together. And I'm like, wow, we are fucking anxious. So somebody makes the comment of like, it's getting real close. It's getting real close. We might miss it. So I don't know where, now mind you, there's a lot of other people that are in line. The last guy that dropped off, a bus just missed us when we got there. And we were like, when's the next bus coming? And he's like, oh, he'll be right behind me. So we really knew the next bus was going to be approaching soon. Didn't matter. It wasn't fast enough. You're talking to a bunch of Italians that are like, just, gotta get there. So we called 2 Uber black cars. We called 2 Uber black cars. Mind you, we're at the front of the line to board on whatever bus comes. We're too antsy to fucking wait, even though we realistically still have like 40 minutes. We called 2 Uber black cars. All of us, including the dog, start running down the dirt path to get to the main road to catch the Uber black cars. As we get to the main road, who starts pulling up? The fucking shuttle bus. So we say, okay, cancel the Uber black cars. And then we start running back. We don't cut everybody because we were first in line, but then we just assume we can get back to first in line, which was kind of a dick move, to be honest. And then we finally get on this ferry. This is par for the course for this group, by the way. Like the fact that this is normal. My aunt, the worst thing that happened this entire weekend, if ever I was ready to drop on my knees and pray to God for a miracle to pull through, we get in line. Finally, we take the shuttle bus. We get to another line to get on the fucking ferry. And my aunt, like my mother, loves a good photo, loves a dump, loves a Facebook carousel, loves checking in on Facebook, letting everybody know we're on Nantucket. She realizes she forgot her phone in the car. We didn't hear the end of that for the entire 8 hours that we were on Nantucket. she was like, oh, I have FOMO. I need to take all of your phones to take photos. I kept saying, God, please just make this phone just magically appear, please. Anyway, we go to Nantucket. We have a great time. Oh, dude, my family, sometimes I wish that people could just be like, just 20 minutes is really all you need to observe my family, because also we're just very loud. Like, we're just very loud. So like, even when we're not fighting, people think we're fighting because we're just fucking screaming. It's really fucking insane how loud we are. Then, sorry, I made like random notes while I was in the Cape, because I said at the end of this, they were like, can we give you money? I said, honestly, you guys provided me with so much content from my podcast. It's an even trade. So I was making notes while I was there. So my cousins, love my cousins. When I'm around my cousins, I'm like, what a difference between me at their age. Because I was obnoxious. I was very outspoken. Like, I was basically what I am now, just in an even smaller body, if you can imagine. I was playing poker at like 10 years old. I was the first and only child in the entire family. My mom had me very young. She only has one brother. Very, very, very small family. And then her brother didn't have kids till later on. I mean, their kids are in high school, right? So there's a huge age gap. So for my entire life, essentially, I was the only child in our entire family. I didn't have cousins. I didn't have anything, really. It was just me, which I loved. This is why I say I loved being an only child. So that being said, I didn't sit at a kid's table growing up. I didn't like when all the adults were like at family parties or like drinking beers and smoking cigars, and they say to the kids like, oh, go outside and play. There was no go outside kids and play. I was the one kid. So I feel like that's also what made me so funny, is I was able to like, I've said this, I think probably in my first podcast episode, I've always just been so fascinated by adults. I loved just watching like how they would make jokes. I feel like I would pick up on adult humor so easy. Like, I feel like I had a good sense of humor because I was just like exposed to good humor and good storytelling. And I essentially was the entertainer of my entire family. I tell my family all the time, like, your guys' life would have been so fucking boring if you didn't have me. Like, to toot my own horn, what do you guys want? You want a magic show? Boom, putting on a magic show. I was putting on a magic show, I was DJing, I was doing backflips, I was doing a comedic routine. Like, genuinely, my family would not have survived without me, okay? I was playing poker at like 10 years old. Like, my grandfather was teaching me blackjack very early on. Like, I remember when everybody turned 21 and everybody went to Vegas, I was showing everybody how to play blackjack. I'm like, guys, come here. Give me the fucking cards. I've been doing this since I was 10. What a difference with my cousins. So we play we play this game Pit, right? Which, Kelsey, this is the game that I played. We played when you guys came over. Really fun game. If you guys have not played Pit, it's a card game. Essentially, it's like the stock market. So everybody's holding 9 cards. You don't know what other people are holding, right? And your goal is that you want all of those 9 cards to be the same stock. You're playing with the amount of stocks that there are players. So if there's 4 people, you're playing with 4 stocks. So you have rice, you have cattle, you have platinum, you have cacao. And essentially, you are like, you'll just shout like, 2. I got 2 to trade. And then somebody else would be like, good, I got 2. And then you trade with them, but you don't know what you're trading for. And then you kind of start figuring out what people have and what cards you want to get rid of. It's a really fun game. It's loud. You have to be really aggressive. So we play this game with them. Something about my cousins, if they don't understand something, mainly the younger one, he's too polite to say he won't understand. So he'll either just pretend he understands or he'll try to sneak one past you. So I'll give you an example. We're playing Pit. There's 2 cards that you play in the game that you add to the hand. There's the bull and the bear. The bull you want to hold on to because the bull kind of is a wild card. It'll be your 9th card. And if it's your 10th card, if you have all 9 and the bull, you get a bonus 25. The bear is the fucking, you want to get rid of the bear. So the second that bear gets in your hands, you want it out of your hands because if you get caught with that bear, you lose 25. When you trade cards, you can tack on the bear to anything. If you're trading 1 card, you can add the bear. If you're trading 4 cards, whatever it is. The main rule is that you can only trade 1, 2, 3, 4 of the same kind. You can't trade cacao and a rice. It has to be 2 rices or 3 cacaos. Okay. Very simple rule. I tell you what, these kids don't know how to fucking bluff. First of all, they got, when it came to them to start dealing the cards, they were flipping the card. They were dealing them face right side up. I go, you don't know how to fucking deal cards? What is your dad teaching you? You gotta, what the fuck are you doing? And like, my mom's always like, Christina, stop. Cause I'll be like, you guys, listen, you cannot go to college yet. You can't go to college. You have to delay your process until you learn how to properly shuffle, until you can properly shuffle and deal cards. Cause this is, whatever's happening right now this is ridiculous. So they're dealing cards face up. They're like looking at other people's cards. I'm like, okay, whatever. Right. Then one of them, it was so funny because like, I grew up playing cards so young. I know how, I'm a great bluffer. I also lied to my family pretty much my whole life about if I brushed my teeth, if I ate the broccoli, which I would actually just shove into a napkin and throw in the trash. I used to go through the coat closet. I was kind of a klepto. I'd go through the coat closet and steal everybody's loose change. Like I was a rebel. Like I was really a wild one. Okay. I had a great poker face because I got really good at lying. I knew this man would get the bear because all of a sudden he'd go, one? Does anybody want to trade one card? I go, dude, come on. Then homeboy just gave me, like shamelessly just gave me a bear, cocoa, and platinum. He's just like, I have 3 cards. I'm like, dude, are you kidding me? Then the last night we played poker. Big fucking mistake. I don't know what on God's earth we thought we were doing having these kids play poker, but we didn't have poker chips, so we played with Cheez-Its. Okay? High stakes. We're playing with Cheez-Its. This little fucker we're going around, we're like really getting into it. Like we're betting up Cheez-Its. I put like 4 Cheez-Its in. I'm raising the stakes. He just keeps following suit. And mind you, he was the dealer. So like somebody would raise, he'd be like, oh, I'll raise you 2 Cheez-Its. All right, great, man. You must have a great fucking card. Puts in 2 Cheez-Its, go around again. Fold. Somebody would fold. He'd be like, yeah, I'm putting in 3 Cheez-Its. All right, man. Again, must have a royal flush. What do you got? End of the round. Everybody puts their cards down. He goes, oh, I was supposed to have cards? He never dealt himself cards. He was betting high stakes Cheez-Its. Never had a fucking card in his hand. My dad goes, okay, I'm going to bed. But I'm like, God, as a kid, I was sly, I was doing shady shit as a kid. But we had, and then we ended up doing Family Olympics, which I didn't even, can you believe that I convinced my family to do beer Olympics? My mother chugged a beer, by the way. No, I know. Blasphemous. I basically kind of guilt tripped. The good thing about being the one that financially provides the things that you need on that trip is that you have leverage. I had a lot of leverage and I didn't use the leverage until we got there. And I said, you guys have to do one thing for me. We're doing beer Olympics. We don't have to drink beer. We're going to do some sort of relay race. Oh my God, it was so fun. My mom ended up rolling an ankle. She pulled her calf. She was limping. Then, she was looking all pathetic for the rest of the weekend because she was taped up. She had icy hot. She was limping around with her bathing suit trying to cook this fucking pasta salad. I was like, Mom, sit down. We don't need the pasta salad. And she's like, I gotta make the pasta salad. Ends up chugging a beer. It was so fun. Oh my God. Honestly, it was like one of the most fun things I've ever done with my family. It was just, we could not stop laughing. It was hilarious. And then I got stoned and we were sitting around the fire pit and I was like, God, wasn't it so fun when we did the optical Olympics? The optical course. I was supposed to be optical course and my mom was like, oh, optical course. Everybody just takes their glasses off. Imagine. Okay, guys, everybody's really old. Actually, my whole family is challenged vision challenged. So if I was just like, all right, guys, I got a new game. It's the optical Olympics. Everybody take off your glasses. Go. That would be worth watching, but we had a great time. And it was a really good reminder. I left there and I really was so present. Even like I didn't vlog when we were there. I really didn't take like any content. And my mom was like, are you going to vlog when we're on Nantucket? I'm like, nope. I just was like very present. And I just felt like my cup was really full and it was the best money I have ever spent in my entire life. I just can't. It was nice too because I always get a lot of stress when I go home, and I'm sure a lot of people relate to this because you know, the older you get, when you go home, it makes you kind of aware of the sad things that are, or the mundane life things that are happening while you're away. And it makes you feel kind of helpless. And then also you're back under your family's roof. You got to abide by certain laws. In my case, you don't have a car accessible. You know, this can be a little much, but the fact that we went for a short time, so we made it really, really intentional. And the fact that it wasn't under anybody's roof, it was a new place, just was incredible. I said to Shane, like, if I could do that every 6 months, where I just make a like intentional plan to get together, where it's not like, oh, I should go home, I haven't been home in a while, and then you just like sit in your childhood. I don't have a childhood bedroom anymore, but like you just sit in your bedroom and for 7 days. It was really, really nice. I feel very fulfilled. And they, you know, family drama and family humor is unlike anything, you know, and it's something about this trip. I left and I had a lot of pride in being from Massachusetts. You know, when you're growing up, you're like, oh, you think the place that you're from is lame and the people are lame. But when I got to Logan Airport and I saw all the, what are they, like the banners of all the sports teams that have won championships and the Stanley Cup, and I was like, wow, I have so much. I'm so prideful. I'm really prideful to be from here. It's a really, really awesome place. And there was one question that I did. I briefly, I have this running list of, you guys fucking know I say it on every goddamn episode about questions. Sorry. I'm like, A, I'm dripping sweat, and B, I'm tired. I'm gonna be honest with you, I'm a little tired. And me and Kelsey gotta go to an event this evening. It's great. Everything's fine. There was one question that I did want to address because it is current and I want to address it while I'm still doing it. Somebody asked your experience with spironolactone because hormonal acne is a bitch. I want to eventually do another episode about acne if anybody is interested in that. I genuinely think it is something that is so fucking scarring, literally and figuratively. And if you've never gone through having really, really bad skin, what a privilege, honestly, because having really, really bad skin, I've had bad acne majority of my life, like cystic, can't put on makeup, throbbing red face, missing so many events. I cannot tell you how many things I have missed in my life because I was so shameful of my face. And I didn't want to put, or then you try to put makeup on it and it just looks 10 times worse. And then you're crying and then you just end up not going. I cannot tell you. All through before middle school, high school, college, coming out here, like just the most temperamental skin. I did Accutane once, did nothing because I have hormonal acne. And the great thing about Accutane is it does fucking jack shit for that. I was on birth control. I took every kind of antibiotic. I did every type of skincare routine under the fucking sun. I recently got on spironolactone, probably I think Memorial Day is when I officially started taking it again. I am of the mindset of I don't want to take things if I don't have to. I don't want to become reliant on things. I want to get to the root issue at hand. And I had leaky gut for I spent a lot of time cleaning out my gut because I was on medication as a kid. I ended up having high histamine in my body and would break out into I've gone through so many different health obstacles. And it took me a really long time to erase all of that and start fresh, that I'm not of the mindset of like, let me just take a pill every month. And, you know, it took a lot for me to get to spironolactone. Now, when I got on spironolactone, my skin is nowhere what it used to be. Obviously, when I was in high school, I'm older. I'm 32 years old. Like I don't have the same kinds of hormones and oil production that I did when I was in freshman year of high school. That being said, I have very, very temperamental skin. My skin will be absolutely porcelain, which is what you guys normally see because I usually don't shoot content when my skin isn't looking great because I just don't feel great, to be honest with you. And then literally I'll wake up one day with like 4 cysts. Like it's very, very, very temperamental. The reason why I got on spironolactone, it got to a point where now doing the job that I do, and the same thing when I was an actor, is that I need to have consistency with my skin because it's one added stress every time I have to leave for a last minute job or go shoot a last minute campaign or do you shoot something for television or social media. Like I am on camera so often that if all of a sudden I get told, hey, you're going to New York Fashion Week, and I wake up the day that I leave and I have a bunch of cysts, it adds this layer to me. I have such bad, I don't want to like loosely use the word PTSD, but I do have some sort of PTSD that I start getting really anxious and I slip back into that. Oh my God, am I going to miss things? What if I can't go somewhere because it's so bad? I've learned the reality is nobody gives a fuck. I meet people all the time that have a breakout it's not even a thought. Obviously I'm not blind. Like I see it, but like it doesn't take away from me. It's as simple as I see they have a zit and then that thought goes away. It doesn't affect how I perceive their beauty, their worth, their confidence, their coolness, whatever it is. I don't like, no one fucking cares. However, because I went through it so bad when I was younger, it does kind of scar me. Spironolactone has helped me a lot. Right now I'm on my period. My skin is pretty fucking perfect right now. I usually don't break out on my period. I break out right before. I still am breaking out on spironolactone. I can't be like eating shit and eating a bunch of dairy and sugar and not sleeping. I still will break out. However, it has made my skin a little bit more predictable, which is all enough for me to be able to do my job without letting my skin totally impact that. I will say, as far as side effects that I've experienced, I'm not going to be on this forever. Side effects really have been minimal. The one side effect that everybody gets, that is the one that I didn't get, is that your boobs get bigger. That one, I actually think somehow my boobs got smaller. Like that one I didn't get. I do pee a lot more often. I have to literally drink no water when I'm on a plane, which doesn't help me because I already pee a lot as is. And it did fuck up my cycle pretty bad. I have really, really bad periods. I end up getting my period twice in a month. And now that hasn't been as predictable. And that's also hard to plan too. If I have to be somewhere with minimal clothing and it's like, oh my God, I'm bleeding down my leg. You guys remember I bled through the fucking chair at the Ritz-Carlton. That was just because I wasn't on Spiro. But I would say if you are suffering, if you have acne, honestly, and you've tried things and you're also in a similar position where you just want some consistency, if it will improve your quality of life, it is worth it. And I know people who don't have acne are like, oh, it's only skin. If you have never experienced acne, shut up. You don't get to say anything to people that have experienced acne because it affects how you present yourself, how you talk, everything that you do. It's your face. It's the first thing people see. So if you're going through it, try to clean out your gut too. I found a lot of really great, refined sugars and white carbs and, try to do a gut cleanse, take a pre-post and probiotic. Clean out your gut a little bit. Sorry, I'm like not working well, but I'm going to do another episode probably on skincare because I've been through the ringer. I know what you're going through, but yes, I do recommend it. I think it's worth trying, knowing that it's not going to be a forever solution and there are other things that you need to do and change. But I do think if you're in a position where you're like, I can't do things anymore. I don't feel like I'm presenting as myself. If it's going to impact your quality of life, I always say go for it. I love you guys. Yeah, I love you guys so much. I've just gained so much love for this podcast. I read so many messages from you guys. I might not respond to all of them, but I see all of them of just the sweetest stories of you guys feeling seen on this podcast and feeling like you have a place. And a lot of you have really resonated with different episodes, which has just been very fulfilling for me. And I love and see you guys. And I am so appreciative of all of you. And fucking giddy up, guys. I'll see you next Thursday. I love you. Bye.